Kells, we're so happy to have you here tonight. How does it feel to be honored?
It's always nice to to be recognized, because a lot of the work that we do in the community is not really for anyone to acknowledge it. So, when someone pays attention to the work that you're doing and feel the need to honor you is very humbling.
And you've been designing your own clothes, working in fashion since you were 17. So tell me what started that and how great it feels to have grown Harlem Haberdashery.
I think just naturally being from Harlem, being into fashion was just organic. We have a custom clothing line that was started by my brother and sister. So I grew up in fashion, not really understanding that I wanted to be in fashion. It just came naturally. So we're now celebrating 25 years in business. This is all I've been doing my entire life. When we decided to open up the clothing store, we wanted to give access to, to our community and to Harlem and to, just the everyday man.
And something that I found very interesting about you is your social advocacy and you basically giving back to the community. Tell me why that's so important for you to do.
Well, what I started to notice was, when you dress nice, people pay attention to what you're doing. So you have a large influence on people. So I just decided to use my influence, to affect the community. I started Take Care of Harlem, which is a non-for-profit organization that takes care of Harlem. We just did a school supply drive. We feed the homeless, not necessarily the homeless, people in need. We do a prom drive. We do a toy drive. So it's just about giving back to the community, because, you got to use your influence for something. Why not use it for good?
Well, we are so happy to have you here tonight. Congratulations.
So let's talk about Harlem Haberdashery. Kells Barnett has been surrounded and influenced by fashion his whole life, designing and sketching his own clothing since he was 17 years old. Kells knew his calling was in fashion design and business of fashion. Growing up in the business and getting a hands-on leading experience under the mentorship and guidance of Guy Wood, Kells gained the knowledge of the fashion industry at a very, very early age. So it was becoming that at the young age of 25 that he would become an integral force in business and marketing, to eventually come the title of Director of Marketing at Custom Clothier, 5,001 flavors, and be the spokesperson, retail expression, Harlem Haberdashery. Throughout his work, Kells has become a social advocate for community prosperity, change, and community self-preservation. He quotes, "The beauty about fashion is the voice it gives you to become such an influence when you dress well." So I've always used that voice of influence to both sell clothes, but more importantly, promote community pride. And he's representing Harlem strong. Would you please give a nice warm welcome to Kells Barnett, Harlem Haberdashery.
Wow, this is a nice award. And I've gotten a lot of awards, but it's really nice to have Harlem on an award. So I do thank you, Money. This is very impressive. Ever since I was little, I always had the vision to actually take care of Harlem. I always thought living in Harlem was so dope. I grew up in Polo Grounds. My grandmother always made it very, very, very important that we understood community. So when I got of age to do different things in Harlem, I made it my business to take care of Harlem. I started a non-for-profit called Take Care of Harlem, and we feed the needy, not just the homeless, because that's just a stereotype. I was at once on the food line, so we feed anybody that's in need. I do a prom drive, a toy drive. I just did a school supply drive yesterday. It's just a lot of things, man, and it's really an honor to. And I always, I always tell kids, I speak to kids about 3 times a week, and I always tell them that in order for your community to prosper, you have to take care of your community. And the fact that I can speak to these kids and be high educated, which really means nothing to kids, and when I speak to them, this is how I dress all the time. I actually don't own any shoes, but I own thousands of suits. So when I speak to kids, I usually have sneakers on because it is intimidating to them. And I remember when I was little and people used to come speak to me and it just didn't connect. Like they used to have bankers and CEOs come speak to you and these people weren't from the community. So the fact that I'm from these kids' community and these kids know me and they know my name and they can come by my store and see me means a lot to them. So if you have influence, please be in these kids' life. Like they really, really need it, and there's so many temptation. And what's going on in the world, these kids really need a voice. And aside from all of that, what I want to say is please support Harlem. You know, everybody knows what's going on in Harlem. There's quote-unquote gentrification. But there are black-owned Harlem businesses in Harlem, so we need to support it. Don't be one of those people that's just supporting it online. There are sneaker stores owned by blacks. There are restaurants owned by blacks. And honestly, you know, growing up in Harlem my whole life, I actually see more black owners than I probably have ever seen from all different types of industry. So it exists, and we need your help. Like I said, please just don't post online to buy black. Please come and buy black. I've been making clothes my whole life. I make suits, I make dresses. So that's a shameless plug. Please come see me. And I thank you, Bunny, and I thank Harlem, and this one is for Harlem. Thank you.
Keep that love going, Kells Barnett.